In this week's video, I'm recreating a pair of cluster earrings I've had since I was young. To be honest, I think I lost one of them. Anyway, I've always wanted to recreate them, and I think I've discovered how. I'll be using UV resin to remake the little dangles from the original pair. I can't wait to share the process. Let's get started. Hi guys, I'm here today. I want to replicate this pair. Well, there's just one earring here, but I've had these since I was a kid pretty much. And I've always loved them, but I've always wanted to kind of replicate this for jewelry making. And I think I figured out how. I know how to make cluster earrings. I've made cluster earrings in the past. Catch the video up above where I use crystals and stuff. But I like these little charms. They're like double-sided faceted charms wrapped in like a half-round wire bezel. And I can never find them online or anything. But I'm gonna attempt to make similar charms like this with some colored resin here. I also picked out some ball posts and some pearls, a couple silver ball beads, silver tone wire. I'm not going to use sterling silver today. Most of these materials you can find at Michael's or Hobby Lobby besides the resin. Let me make the little bezels. For that I chose 24 gauge silver tone colored wire. This earring has 4, so I'm going to need to make 8. I was going to use my round nose pliers, but I'm going to grab my bail making pliers. It looks like that size there, or this size here, looks like it would match. So I'm going to wrap my wire around this guy. I'm going to go about 1.5 times around. Snip it, making kind of like a split ring, but only halfway around. I'm going to come through and grab one end and start twirling it the other way to make a little loop here. Okay, there's one. I'm going to make 9 more. Grab one of the ends and twirl it around. I'm going to overlap it as well. Make a split ring there, so to speak. Okay, that's 2, and I'll be back. And while I was making them, I noticed these are kind of big. So I'm gonna step down a size and use this size right here. I'll make 4 and split them up between the earrings, but then the rest of them I'll make smaller. Okay, I've completed my loops. So I'm gonna get some resin tape, tape them down, and create my little dangles. Okay, I've got resin tape. Try to get them on the tape as flat as I can so there's no leakage. Okay, we need to decide colors. 2 blues, 2 browns, dark blue, see how that does. I might flash cure them in between. Let's make 2 of these. Make sure all the bubbles are out. Okay, dark cyan. Actually, I want to use a dark brown. Let's use this orchid color. And some clear. Okay, looking good so far. Let's put another layer. I want them really dark, so let me do a thin layer of black. Just a little drop. Actually, let me put some up there. Not dark enough, I don't think. I'm going to put these under the lamp for a good 2 minutes before we move on. Okay. I'm going to keep adding color until they're domed, and then I'm going to take them off and dome the other side. Work on this one next. Slowly but surely work on the layers. I'm just going to keep adding black to these. I think this is as much color as I want on these. I'm going to proceed with clear. Okay. Forgot to press record. All right, I'm just doming the other side. Same process. Okay, I'm gonna go cure these for a good 2 minutes, maybe 5. Aren't they cute? I think they're domed pretty well. Okay. I happen to make a few more to go on the bottom of my earring. I want to do like a cascading cluster earring. So they are curing right now. So in the meantime, let's make some head pins for our pearls and our other beads, our silver beads. And I'm just going to use the 24 gauge I have out already. I'm going to put the tiniest loop on the end here. I think I'm going to cut off, I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch. That should be plenty to make a loop. And make a wrapped loop. Okay, that's my little wrapped bead here. But I'm going to go ahead and do it for all the beads I have here, and I'll be back. Okay, I've got all my bead dangles done. Now, I made wrapped loops. I personally like wrapped loops. You can make a simple loop if you'd like. You can even use one of those looping tools. I don't have one, but they have looping tools out there. I just happen to like the wrapped loops. I like the texture it gives and the extra security that it gives. Another thing I like to do is I like to make my own figure 8 links. You can definitely use chain for this, but I just happen to like figure 8s. So I'm gonna make 3 figure 8s for each earring. Let's see. what size link I get with 3/4 of an inch. That looks like a good size. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and make 6 of those. If you get it in the right spot on your round nose pliers, you hardly have to do any adjusting. Mine is right here, it seems. Makes a good size. Okay, I've got 6 made. Let's assemble. I got these ball posts with loops at Michael's. All right, let's see what my pattern is. I'm gonna slip on a pearl, my ball post, and then a drop. And then I go to the other side of the figure 8 and open it up. See what side that dangle is on. Put a pearl on that side, a figure 8, and what color we got? Teal. And close that up. That's what we got so far. I shouldn't have slipped this on because we have to put a pearl on. Okay, so let's put a dangle on. Find the lower figure 8 and separate them. Hopefully that's the side with the pearl. And then I'm gonna slip on the silver bead and close it. And this side, I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna put the clear one on first, and then a pearl, and then close it. Okay, grab the last figure 8. I'm gonna slip the pink dangle on and find the end of my last figure 8 and separate out the beads and put a small dangle on. I think I'll use the brown and close that up and open up the bottom of this figure 8, put a dangle on, and that's what they look like. Pretty cool. How does it compare to that one? Not too bad. Dangles can be a little smaller. The smaller ones can be a little flatter, but this is my first pair, so that's okay. I'm gonna try to mirror that pattern on this side. So I'm gonna open up my first figure 8. I'm gonna look at this one. I put the pearl on first, then the ball post, and then the dangle. So let me put the dangle on first, then the ball post facing the pearl, and then the pearl. Okay, and try to do the opposite. Going down the line here. Okay, let's put that on, separate the beads on that way. Okay, close it up. Go to the bottom, put the clear one on, and then the pearl. Grab my last figure 8. I'll put the brown on first, then the pink. Close it up and put the green at the very bottom. Close it up. Resin dangle cluster earrings. Yay! Recreating these earrings really took me back, and I'm so glad I got to share the process with you. It's amazing what a little resin and a lot of memory can bring back. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!